A very good evening to one and all present here. I would like to welcome you all to today's value added session of DSA Carnival 2.0 on behalf of Code Chef ADGITM, Code Chef GC Raipur, and everyone else who contributed to this event. Data structures and algorithms are the subject of this 10-day course, and at the conclusion of each lesson, you will receive a link to an exam. I want to start by saying thanks to Geeks for Geeks and Coding Minutes to be our title sponsor and education partner. Today is third day of the event and today's topic is strings and associated algorithms with it. Many people overlook string while discussing data structures. It's not a difficult subject, but it is significant. So, Rahul Singla, sir, a very renowned educator, is here to help us understand our notion of string. He has been part of an academy and tutored students from prestigious IITs and NITs, and also is a mentor at Geeks for Geeks. He currently works for Innovaccer as a software development engineer. I'm honored to welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ayushi, for such a wonderful introduction. So, yes, hello everyone, whoever is present here. Uh, a very good afternoon to everyone. Can you guys tell me if I'm audible? Am I audible, guys? Yes. Okay. So that's great. So today, what we are going to do, as it is very clear, that we are going to study about strings, right? So strings I'm going to cover in Java, right? So Java, in the sense, like, we are going to do some questions, but initially, to understand the question and to solve it, we have to know, like, we should know some basics, right? See, because I'm going to code in Java, so that's why we should know some basics of it. So first of all, I will tell you the basics, and then we will move to one of the questions, like a very good question that we should all know, and a famous question, I would say. Okay, so I hope students have joined, and you guys are very interested in learning now, right? So let's start. Let me share my screen, and let's start. Okay, so let me know if my screen is visible to all of you. Just let's open a new project. Okay, and we are going to name it strings. Anybody has any questions before we start, can ask me until I'm making this class, or you can say a Java project, right? So yeah, anybody has any questions regarding anything before we start the session, let me know. And most of the students, like, you guys are from which year? Like first year, second year, third year, fourth year, which year you are from? And first year, okay, good. And let me open it. Second year, right? First year working, okay, nice. So yes, so we are going to start with strings, right? Strings, what are strings and everything we are going to study. Sorry for the writing. Let me just do it, write it again. See, if you guys have any problem with the writing, let me know, because uh, I have a problem in that part. Okay, completed graduation, working, right? So all type of students are here, right? So let's start with strings. So what are strings? First thing we should know is what are strings. I think you guys have learned about arrays in the previous session, right? So we can move to strings now. Why I am saying we should know arrays before it? Because internally what happens is, see, why we move to strings. Why we move to strings? Because in arrays, let's say, sorry, let's say in arrays, if you want to work on characters, right, a lot of characters, stream of characters you want to work on, right? So in that case what will happen? So let's say I'm giving you an example. So let's say we have A, then we have B, then we have C, and then we have D. I want to work on these characters. And what is the size of this array? Size of this array is 4, right? Let's say the name of the array is AR, right? Now my task is I want to add E in this array, right? I don't want to work on A, B, C, D. I want to work on A, B, C, D, E, right? Now, what are the operations that you have to do? What are the operations you have to do? First of all, you have to increase the size of the array by 1, right? You will increase the size of the array by 1. You have to make a new array of size 5, right? So it will be A, and then you have to copy all the elements. Then you will copy B, then you will copy C, and then you will copy D. Right. Now, if you want to add E into it, then at the last index of this new array, you will add E. Now you can work on this array in which you have 5 characters A, B, C, D, and E. Right. But this is very problematic, right? Every time you want to add a character, you have to increase the size of the array, and that should not be the case. That is a very very bad practice. That will increase the time complexity every time. Okay, like even if it is a bad practice, it will actually make our life very very difficult, right? So that's why the concept of strings came into play, right? So what happens is, internally actually everything is stored in array only, but in Java we made a class called string. We made a class called string. Okay, in that class of string we added some different functions so that we can use that thing as a string. So that what I'm trying to say is, normally internally, if you see internally, all the things are stored like this only in strings as well. Normally, you know what are strings? Strings are like this: A, B, C, D. And if you want to add E into it, you will add like this. It will become A, B, C, D. Okay. So these are strings. Strings are actually stream of characters. But internally, how they are stored? They are stored in array only. So what we did was we made some modifications so that we can make our life very easy. Okay. So we made a class called string in Java, in which now what we can do is we can directly make a string like this: string str, let's say the name of the string is str, is equal to, in double quotes you can write anything, A, B, C, D. Let's say I have written A, B, C, D here. Okay, so this is now a str string which is A, B, C, D, and a different operations we have added into it so that we can directly use it. Internally whatever is happening we don't want to know that, but externally we are now going to only use this string class, nothing else. Okay, nothing else. And if you know, if you have studied about arrays in the previous class, so you know how we make arrays. We make arrays like this: uh, int, integer, like let's say integer array I want to make, integer, then array, then name of the array is equal to, we use new keyword, new, and then int, and then the size of the array, right? This way we make an array, right? If you guys have studied it in Java, so this way we make an array. Okay, so what we are trying to do here is, same way we can make string as well. As I told you, internally we are storing everything in arrays only, right? So there are two ways of making a string in Java. One is string str is equal to abcd, and second way is string, let's say name of the string is str1 is equal to new string, and in the bracket you can give abcd. Both are same, like both will do the same work. There is some internal difference between them, I'll tell you afterwards, but right now these are the two ways of making a string. What are the two ways of making a string? You can make a string like this: a string str is equal to abcd, like in double quotes whatever you will write, that is a string. Always remember, in double quotes, not the single quotes. If you write anything in single quote, that will be a character. Okay, and another way is string str1, let's say str1 is the name, is equal to new string abcd, in the bracket abcd. There is a fundamental difference between them, like there is a small difference between them that we will cover afterwards, but right now these are the two ways. Okay, and what is string? String is just a stream of characters, like a lot of characters combined together will make a string. And why we use string? Because in real life, like in the coding part, let's say you are filling a form. Okay, in that form you have to write your name, your roll number, this, that, different information you have to fill, right? So for that, like behind the scene, they all are stored in string, right? Because we only not work on numbers, we don't only work on characters, we work on these big strings like my name Rahul. Okay, we work on these types of things as well. Okay, so that's why we use strings. I hope this much is clear to everyone, why we use strings, what are strings, and how we can make strings in Java. Okay, now coming back to the thing, let's say in arrays what happens is we have indexes, right? In arrays we have indexes. So 1 2 3 4, let's say this is the array you have. Arr is equal to, this is the array we have. So we have indexes here. Same way in string, let's say str is the string where we have abcd. It also has indexes, let's say 0 1 2 3. Okay, so these are the indexes pointing to each character. Like 0 index will represent a, first index b, second index c, and fourth index d. Okay, but in array what you do is, if you want to get any element at any index, so what you do is you write like this: arr of 0. Okay, so arr of 0 means that we are pointing to 1, right? The answer, if we try to print this, the answer will be 1, right? Because on the 0th index of this array we have 1. Same way, on the first index of this array, if we try to print arr of 1, it will be 2. Okay, in the same way we have string. In the string as well, the indexes are same. So what we do is, there is a small difference between them, right? Why? Because in arrays we directly do like this, but string is a class in Java. Okay, so we have made it by ourselves. Okay, we made it by ourselves. We have made some modifications in array, then we made a string, right? So for that purpose, what we have is, we cannot directly write str of 0. We cannot directly write str of 0 to get a, or we cannot directly write str of 1 to get b. What we actually do is, we write it like this: str dot character at char at 0, or str dot char at 1. Okay, this is what we do. So what does this mean? That str dot char at 0, it means that in this string str, character at 0th index is a, so the answer will be a. Okay, then if we write like this str dot char at 1, so it will be like str dot char at 1 will look like what is there at the first index of this str string, it is b, so answer will be b. Okay, so if you, there is a difference between how you get an element from an array and from a string. So in an array, how do you get an element? You get an element like array of 0, array of 1, array of 2. And in string it is like str dot char at 0, str dot char at 1. Okay, right? So I hope this much is clear. Anybody has any doubt till now? Let's make a program and try to print this thing, right? So how it works? Let me make a class. Anybody has any doubt, guys? And in that section, let me just since one source. Let me make a package. Okay, inside that package, what is the problem here? Okay, package already exists. Sorry. So we have to make a new package strings. Okay, so in that string package, we'll have a new class. So if you know the hierarchy, I'll tell you the hierarchy as well. Strings basis. Right. So now let me finish this. Now we have a class. Okay, so if you guys know the hierarchy, so what is the hierarchy? So in that, what happens is, uh, we have this. First of all, At the top we have a module, right? After module we have package, and inside that package what we have is class. Okay, and inside this class we have functions. So this is the hierarchy of, like in Java, how it works is, first of all we have to make a module. Inside that module we have to make a package. See, here there is a package, and inside the package we have to make a class, and inside that class we will make some functions. Okay, I hope this much you know, right? So let's come back to this part and let's make a main function so that we can write some code. I think this you know that everything we have to write in a main function to execute, right? So public static void main string args. Okay, so inside the main function what we have to see is how it is working, how strings are working. So string, let's say str, this way we have to make a string, is equal to abcd. Okay, is equal to abcd. This is how we can make a string in Java, right? Now as I told you, they are like, everything is indexed. This is 0 1 2 3. Okay, so in that case what we have to do is, if I want to print, let's say if I want to print what is at the first index of this string, what is at the first index of the string, so what I will do is system.out.print. So this is a print statement that we use in Java. Okay, if we want to print anything we will use system.out.print. Just like in C++ we have cout, cin, cout. So this is the same thing, system.out.print, to print anything, right? So str.char@, let's say 1 on the first index. So what will be the answer for this? If I print it, can you guys tell me what is the answer for this? If I execute this code, B, right? So the answer will be B. Why? Because these are all indexed. This is 0 index, first index, second index, third index. So if I try to print str.char at 1, it will mean that I am printing str in this str string. What is the character at first index? What is the character at first index? Okay, so this is what I am doing, right? So now let's move forward. So I hope this much is clear to you guys. Now let's come to the next function, which is very very important that we should know in strings, is substring function. Okay, is substring function, right? Here what we are doing is we are simply printing at any index, like 0th index. If you want to print, we will write 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. Any index we can print. Okay, or we can use it somewhere. We will see in the questions that how we can use it anywhere. But right now let's come to the next function, which is substring. Okay, what is this substring function? So let's say you have this string, uh, Rahul is teaching. Okay, let's say you have this string. Now what you have to do is, uh, as we know, let's say that the name of the string is str. So these all will be indexed. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. Okay, so these are all the correct. Always remember that these spaces are also considered. Okay, they will also get one of the index, right? So don't consider that if there is a space is also a character, right? So this is, let's say this is the case. Now I just want from this whole string, I just want a part of it. Let's say I just want Rahul, I don't want is teaching, I just want Rahul. Okay, so in that case what will happen is, uh, we will use substring function. How we can use substring function? Str dot substring. Okay, whatever string you are using, whatever string you want to cut, and in this substring function you have to write two things. Okay, what are those two things? The starting index and the ending index. The start index from where you want the string till the end, like till the last index, from till where you want the string. Okay, so let's say I'm writing here, if I want Rahul, I will write 0 here. I want to start from 0, and where I want to end, I want to end at 4. right? I want till fourth index. So always remember, if you want till fourth index, you have to write 5 here. Always add one more index to it. Okay, so because last index is never considered. Okay, if you are writing from 0 to 5, it means it will only take till 5, like not including 5, till 5 only. So it will take from 0 to 4 only. Always remember this thing in a substring function. If you are giving the end index, so you have to give the end index plus 1 of till where you need. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want till 4, so I will write 5 here. So if you write it like this, str dot substring 0 to 5, so the answer will be Rahul. Okay, the answer will be Rahul. Now, if you want anything else, let's say you want teaching. If you want teaching, so it starts from 9, so you will write 9 here, and it goes till 16. So you have to write 17 here. One more than till where you need it. Okay, so it will be 0 to 17 if you want teaching, right? So now let's try to print this as well. Let's try to print this as well, and also let's print first of all. Let's execute this program as well that we wrote before. So let's run it. Iter contain does not contain a main type. So we have this main string basics of Java. What is the problem here? Uh, just a second. Okay, this is the wrong one. So here we have project is strings one, and here we have strings dot strings dot string basics. Now apply. Okay, if now I run it, yes, just a second. I think this is running fine. Okay, so there, let me run from here only. Let's where is the run option? So you can see the answer is B. Okay, so for this part the answer was B. Okay, now let's try this substring function. Now let's try this substring function. So in this substring function, what I'm trying to write is system dot out dot print. In the print statement, what we want to write is str. Let's change the str as well. Let's change the str. Rahul is okay. Rahul is teaching. So str dot char at okay dot char at not char at sorry not char at we want to use a substring function, right? So substring str dot substring from where to where. If I from this string I want from, let's say teaching I want, so 9 to 17, right? 9 from ninth index to 17th index. Okay, so now first of all let me write ln here and ln here. Let me know what will be the answer for this. uh, I am executing this as well, I am executing this as well. What will be the answer? Anybody? B teaching. B. No, there is no B here. No, no, no. The answer won't be B. A teaching. A teaching. Yeah, exactly. So answer will be A because at the first index, what we have A, small a, right? And we have and substring in substring str or substring from 9 to 17. What we did was we started from ninth index, we went till 17th index, right? So that means teaching will be the answer. So let's run it. So the answer is A and teaching. Exactly. Right? I hope you guys are clear with this. Okay. So both the function, this is the way we use both the functions. Any like if you want any character or you want any substring. Okay. One last thing in this part, that if you want, let's say you only want to give the starting index. Okay. You don't want to give the ending index. You want till end. You want to start from 9, but you want till end. So you don't have to give the ending index. So in this case as well, if I only give 9, that means it will consider it as a starting index, but there is no ending index, so it will take the whole string after it. So if you only write 9 as well, the answer will be same. The answer will be A and teaching. Why? Because it took from ninth index till the end. So let's say I am writing here 6. Okay. So it will take from sixth index till end. Okay. So it will be A is teaching. Is I started from 6 till end. Everything. Okay. So either you can give starting index and ending index, either you will give only starting index. This way substring function works, and this way char add works. This is how in Java you have to take a character or you have to take a substring of a string. Okay. Now some few things, some more few things, few more things. Sorry. So what we have to do is string. Okay. So let's say I want to add two strings. Okay. If I want to add two strings, so what I can do is a string str is equal to, just like I told you guys that if I want to do abcd, but I want to add e in it. I want to add e in it. Okay. So str I have already used. So str1. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? Now it will make a new string which will be abcde. Okay. This is very simple. To add anything into an existing string, we can directly add it. Okay, with the help of plus. So there is an internal mechanism actually what is going on inside it. Like every time you add anything to a existing string, a new string will be made. A new string will be made every time. Okay. So you cannot say, like, this is a whole different topic and it will take a lot of time to give you the information of. So let's not go there, but you have to, like, basic function that I can give in this lecture is like how we can get an element from a string, like a character from a string, how we can substring, or if we want to add anything to an existing string, we can add it like this. Okay. This makes our life very very easy. Okay. And if you want to get the length of a string, okay, if you want to get a length of the string, so int length is equal to str dot length. You have to write it like this, str dot length, right? Str dot length and then bracket, str dot length and then bracket. So now if I try to print the length of the string, system dot out dot print, it will be str, it will be length. If I want to print length, it will be like this, right? So let's say if I run it, so the answer will be A is teaching and 17. Now the length of the string is 17, right? I hope this much is clear how we can take a length of a string, str dot length, how we can like make a string, how we can get a character from a string, substring of a string, how we can add anything to an existing string, or how we can take a length of a string. Anybody has any doubt till now? Just let me know. Then we will move to a question. Okay. Now we will do a question of lead code. Understood. No, sir. Okay, so I can see your comments in my phone. Yeah. So just a second. Okay. So I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now let's move to one of the questions, right? So I am hoping that a little advanced question will work, right? Like middle, like medium level question will work. So I'm taking this question of lead code, a longest substring without repeating characters. So let me know, guys. Like, should I continue with this or should I like take a easier question first? This will be good. Okay. Okay. Nobody has any problem with this. So let's continue. Okay. So what we are doing is the question says that longest substring without repeating characters. Okay. What does that mean? We are given with a string s. Okay. Find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. So you are given with a string, right? So s is equal to a b c a b c b b. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to find the output. Okay. What is the output? You have to give the longest substring. So you have a full string, so you have to find the longest substring in which the characters are not repeated. What does that mean? So in this string, substring is any part of that string, right? So let's say A, B, C. A, B, C does not have any repeating character. That means A is not repeated again, B is not repeated again, C is not repeated again. Every element should be like one time. Okay. So ABC, then we have A. Okay. If I take this substring, so here we have two A's. So this should not be the case. It should not happen. So the question is, you want to find out longest substring without repeating characters. So character should not be repeated in that substring, and you have to find the longest of it in that string. Okay. Anybody has any doubt in the question? So let me explain it again. A, B, C, B. So in this string, there can be a lot of substrings. Okay, so A is a substring itself, B is a substring itself, C, A, B, C, B, B. They different. They are substrings. A, B is substring, B, C is substring, C, A is substring, B, C is substring. These all are substrings, right? And A, B, C is also a substring, and so on. Okay, so what we want to do is now I want to find out the longest substring in which characters are not repeating. Characters are not repeating. So in this case, in this string, what you can do is, here you can see, first of all, you take first character A. Okay, so this is okay. We got a string of length 1 in which elements are not repeating. Okay, now I move forward. I got AB, right? I got AB. So in AB as well, there is no repeating character. So we will increase the length to 2. Okay. Now I got ABC. ABC. In this as well, there is no repeating characters. There is one A, one B, one C. So it will be 3. Okay. Now, now what happens is, now when I go to A, when I include A, okay, so what will happen now? Now the elements are repeating. Two A's are there. So in this case, what we have to do is, either I have to remove this A, or either I have to remove this A, right? Because the question is, we have to find the longest substring without repeating characters, right? So either I have to remove this A or this A. So which A should I remove so that I get a better answer? You tell me. See, the first A, if I remove the first A, that will be a better solution, right? There can be a possibility that after this, let's say if there would have been D here instead of B. So this is a larger string, okay, that we have found without repeating characters. So always remove the starting parts. So because that we have already included, right? So what we have to do is, right now there is B here. Right now there is B here. So what we will do is, we will like not include this A, we will include this A. Right? Now the length is still 3. Length is still 3. So we will not change the length. Now what we will do is, we will move forward. Here we have B. Okay. Now we have B. Now we will include B. So again, two B's are there. We don't want two B's. We want only one B. Okay. There should not be any repeating character. So what I will do is, I will remove this B and I will only consider this point, CAB. Still the length is 3, so I will not change the length because I want to find the longest substring, right? So I will not change the length. So now again C comes. Okay, C comes. So again the same case, that we have already have C here. So I will remove this C, and this ABC will all again make length as 3 only. Okay, now we have again B. Okay, we have B again. Okay, so here you can see we made A B C B, A B C B. Okay, now this is the substring that we are considering. But now you can see that there are two B's, right? So I have to remove this B. We have to remove this B. To remove this B, we have to remove this A as well. Okay. So always we have to keep this in mind, that we have to remove B so that element becomes one only. So what I'm trying to say here is, so let's say there are two B's now. Okay. So until the B only remains one, only there is one B in this string, we have to keep removing the characters from the starting. First of all, we will remove A, then we will remove B. Now we can say that only the elements are not repeating. Now there is CB. Okay, CB has length 2, so I will not change the longest length. It will be 3 only. Right. Now again the last thing, CBB. Again the characters are repeating. So what I will do is, I will remove C, I will remove B. Only this B will be left, and the length of the substring is 1. So I will not take this into consideration, and the answer will be 3. The longest substring that we found in this whole process was of length 3. That can be anything. That can be ABC. This ABC. That can be Really sorry, guys. I think there was some issue. Okay, let me just share the screen again. Okay, so now I think it is visible. So I hope you guys got it. What is the concept? Concept is that we are given with a string. Okay, string is A B C A B C B B. Okay, so what we were doing, we want to find the longest substring in which we have no repeated characters, right? So how we are going to do that? We are going to take one by one each character into consideration. First of all, A. Okay, there is no repeating character in this string, in only A. Okay, so what we will do is we will continue further. So there will be AB, then there will be ABC. Now the length of the string is 3. But now if I consider this A, now A is repeating. Two A's are there. So in this string, we cannot take both the strings. Both, like, we cannot take this. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to either remove this A or this A. So I will remove this A so that we can find a bigger string uh, moving forward. Okay. So this is one way of doing it. The basic way, the knife solution of this is that we find all the substrings, like all the substring, and in all those substrings we find that if the characters are repeating or not. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, let's say we have ABC, ABB. Okay, so in this all the substrings will be A is one substring, B is one substring, again B is one substring, AB is one substring, BB is one substring, and ABB is one substring. Right, these are all the substrings we have. And what is the longest substring in which characters are not repeating? So this is only of length 1, one length, one length. So now we can see this is the string in which characters are not repeating, and this is of length 2. Okay, here again the characters are repeating, so we cannot take this. Here also characters are repeating, we cannot take this. So the answer for this ABB will be 2 only, right? So this is one way, like we find all the substrings and we don't want that. But what we are doing is we are sort of using sliding window. Okay, this is called sliding window, right? So in this sliding window, what we are doing is one by one we are considering each character. Okay, and whenever the character is repeated, we have to move forward. Okay, so what how the process will go, let me tell you that. Okay, we will take two things. We have the string and we will take an array. We will take an array. Why we are taking an array, let me tell you that as well. Okay, so this array will be of length 26. Okay, this array will be of length 26. Each index, like this is 0 index, this is first index, second index, till 25 index. First 0th index will represent A, first index will represent B, and so on, and 25th index will represent Z, right? So now what we have to do is, so yeah, either set you can use, or I am using arrays because you guys have only learned arrays like in the previous lecture. So I'm using arrays. You can use set or you can use hash map as well. Anything you can use, but right now I'm using array of size 26. Right, now what I am going to do is I'm going to take two variables. One is I and one is j. Right, so I will point here initially, and j will also point here. J will keep on moving forward, okay, until we find a correct repeating character. Until we find a repeating character, we will keep moving j, right? So what I'm doing here is, right now I and j both are at A. Okay, so what I will do is, these in this array I will add, what I will add the occurrence of each character. So right now j is pointing to A, right? J is pointing to A, that means A occurred first time, one time. So now I will increase it by 1 because 0 is representing A. So on the 0th index I will add 1, right? Now I will move forward. Now I will move forward. I will move forward. Now I have j here on the B. So what I will do is I will go on the first index and I will add 1 there. So it will be 1 on the first index as well, because first index is representing B, right? So 0th index is 1, first index is 1 now, right? Now we will go to C. Now we will go to C. So j is now at C. So what will happen is, on the second index I will increase, it will be increased by 1. So now on the second index as well we will have 1, right? Initially, if you know, all the elements in the array are 0. Like initially all the elements are 0. I am increasing them by 1 every time I get an element. Okay, now next thing, next thing I will move to A again. So now you can see when I will increase, so it is A, so I will go again on the 0th index and I will increase it by 1. I will increase it by 1, it will become 2. But the main logic of this question is, what the question is asking us is that there should not be more than one same character in that substring. Okay, there should not be again repeating character in that string. Okay, so if the value of A is 2, that means in this part of the string that I am considering from I to J, there are two A's, right? There are two A's. So what I am going to do is, until this value of 2 becomes 1 again, until the value of 2 becomes 1 again, I will keep moving my I will keep moving my I, so that the length of the string will keep on decreasing, right? So what will happen is, so what will happen is uh, I will also, one more thing we have to keep in mind is, we have to take a max here. Okay, we have to take a max here in which we will keep adding the value. Okay, the max value. So till now 1 2 3, the value, max value is 3 till now. Okay, J will represent J, according to J we will add the max value, right? So now what will happen is, we have two A's here. So until I uh, we will keep moving the I until this value becomes 1 again. So I will move my I will come here. Okay, so I was at A. Okay, so I will go on the 0th index and I will decrease the value by 1. Why? Because now we are considering this part of the string. Like, starting index of the string that we are considering is I, and the ending index is J. Okay, so from I to J I am considering. So A here that we have, if I am removing A from this substring, so I will decrease the value of A by 1. Now the value of A has become 1, so now I can move forward. Now J will can move forward. J will keep on moving forward till it gets a value greater than 1 at any index. Okay, now what will happen is, now J can move forward. Now J can move forward because the value of A has become 1. Value of A has become 1. So whenever I will move, it will decrease the value. Okay, whenever I will move, it will decrease the value at a particular index, right? So J was here, now J will move to here. Okay, J will move to here. Again, you can see that when you will go to this part, like B, so what will happen is, it will increase the value at this index, on the first index. Now you can see on the second index we have value 2, right? Which means again the same case like A, that there are two B's in this substring that we are considering. Now what we have to do, we have to increase our I until, we have to increase our I until we get a value 1 here again, because we want only one B. So what I will do is, I will increase the value by 1, I by 1, and it will come here. So now we are considering this string. So now this 1B is removed, so the value will be decreased by 1, right? Now same way we will move forward. Same way we will move forward. So here I is here and J is here, right? Now again J will move forward. Now J will come here. Again the same case. You can see here, when we will come to J, will be C. Okay. So now again the second index value will be increased to 2. Why? Because second index represents C, and wherever J is going, it is increasing the value. So it will increase the value by 2, to 2. Okay. So now again we have to move our I until the value becomes again what? 1. The value of C becomes 1. So I will move my I, and the value will again become 1 because I was pointing to C, right? So now this part of the string is left. This part of the string is left, right? Now what will happen? Again I can move J because I got a string without repeating characters. Now again now see, now again the same thing will happen. A B C B. Okay, this is the part. Now the value of B will be increased to 2. Let me just move it. Value of B will be increased to 2, and this will be 1, right? Now what will happen is, BB, there are two B's. Now until, as I told you before as well, until the value of B again becomes 1, we have to keep moving I. Okay, so here what will happen is, I will move my I. Okay, I will come here and I will decrease the value of A, because now A is not in this substring, right? So I will decrease the value of A by 0. It will become 0, right? Now again the value of B is 2 already, like it has not changed. So again we will move I. Again we will move I to the next index. So now we have B here. So this B has been removed from this part of the substring from I to J, right? So I will decrease its value by 1. Now you can move forward. Now you can see that we have got CB as the string. Okay, now we can move j forward. J can only move forward until, sorry, it can only move forward till we have values 1. Okay, only one values are there, right? So now again j will move forward. This is the last part. Again the j will move forward. J will come here. Now this is the string that we have. So in this case, what will happen is, again the value of b will be increased, right? And sorry, b, value of b will be increased, not c, value of b will be increased. Okay, now again what we have to do, we have to keep moving our I until the value again becomes 1. So we will move our I, c will become 0, and then again I have to move my I, so now j will become 1. So now only this part is left, I and j both are pointing to b. Okay, so this is how we have to move. Now after this, if I try to move j, it will go out of bound, so we have to stop here, right? So this is how we have to keep moving forward, and every time whenever we are increasing our j, we have to keep the count as well. Like, okay, this much characters are done, so maximum value is this till now, maximum value is this till now, maximum value is this till now. Okay, so this is what we have to do, right? I hope the concept is clear. Concept is clear. Anybody has any doubt in the concept, then I will write the code. Or clear? Anybody else has any doubt, guys? Let me know. Then we will write the code, and code is good. Like, see, in the code, what we are going to do is, we are going to write int. First of all, we have to take two variables, int I equal to 0 and int j is equal to 0, right? As we have discussed. I is also pointing to the first index and j is also pointing to the first index, right? So if we have a, b, c, d, so I is pointing here and j is pointing here, right? Both are pointing to the 0th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So now what we have to do, now as we have discussed, we have to keep moving our j. So until where we have to move the j? Until j moves to the end of the string, right? So while j is less than s dot length, okay, until j moves to the end of the string. So what we have to do is we have to take an array as well. Okay, so let's take an array in, let's say, arr is equal to new int, and what should be the size of the array? If we use array, no, I don't think so. It won't change, because see why it won't change, because in hash map what you will do is you will use it like this, like a comes one time, b comes one time, c comes first time. Okay, so this way you are going to add elements and remove elements. But in arrays also you are doing the same operations, like you are considering 0th index as a, so it is only big of one operation only. Adding into an array and also in hash map is big of one operation only. So it will be same, it won't change. Okay, just a little bit space can be optimized, but that will also not matter because this is a constant value. Like, if I'm taking 255 size of array, why I'm taking 255 size of array, understand that as well. That is because there are 255, I think, yeah, 255 characters, like, which have ASCII value. Okay, which have ASCII value. If you know what is ASCII value, so every character, let's say a, is internally, so let me tell you again, so internally we have to store characters as well in our memory, right? But we cannot store it like this, a, b, c, d. So there should be some integer value associated with them, with the help of which we can store them in a binary form, because everything in our memory is stored in a binary form, right? So a is represented by 97, b is represented by 98, 99, and so on, right? From a to z, these are all the ASCII values of these characters. These are all the ASCII values of these characters that we have. Okay, so ASCII value means that this value 97, if you see in memory, so 97 is stored in binary form. Okay, so these are the sky values that we have. So if I am taking 255 size of array, that means I'm going to add, if I'm adding any value of a, b, c, d into this array, so I will add the value of a at 97 and value of b at 98, value of c as 99, and so on, right? So what I will do is, if I write like this, see, if I write like this, arr of let's say s dot char at I, char at I plus equal to 1. So now what, understand what is the meaning of this. Okay, let's understand what is the meaning of this. ARR means this array of size 255, right? Now s dot char at I. S dot char at I means, let's consider this example. So in this is the zeroth character, right? S is the name of the string. So s dot char at 0, char at 0. Sorry, not I. There is no I here. So let's say j. Sorry, j. Okay. Right now we are considering j, right? So this is the string that we have, a b c, a b c, and b b. Okay. Right now I and j both are pointing here, right? So j is actually 0. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so j is actually at the 0th index, right? So s dot char at 0 will represent what? A. S dot char at 0, that means s dot char at j right now is 0, will represent a. So what is this written? It is like arr of a. Okay, it is written as arr of a is actually 97. As I told you guys, a represents 97, so this is arr of 97. It will go to 97th position and it will increase the value by 1, right? Anybody has any doubt in this part? Anybody has any doubt in this part? What I have done is, ARR of s dot char at ij plus equal to 1. The meaning of this line is s dot char at j. S dot char at j means j is 0 right now. So s dot character at 0th index is a. Okay. So it will be ARR of a. A represents 97. So ARR of 97, we have to increase the value by 1. Initially the value was 0. Now it will be 1. Right? So I hope this much is clear. And so on, it will keep on moving. I will keep increasing the j. So j will come on the first index, and same thing will happen that s dot char at first 1. So s dot char at 1 is first index is b. So it will be ARR of b. ARR of b is b represents 98. So it will be 98 value will be 1. Okay, 98 value will be 1. So this is how it works. This is how it works. Right? So this is what I am doing. Every time I will go to each character and I will increase its value by 1. Now now, every time when I am increasing the value, what I have to do is, I have to see. I have to see wherever right now I am. I have to see that while s dot char at I is greater than, sorry, s dot char at j is greater than 1. If, as I told you guys, we have to consider both I and j. We have to consider both I and j, right? So this is like ARR of s dot char at j plus equal to 1. Okay, while s dot char at j is greater than 1. What I am doing here is, so let's say this is the case, a b c b b. Okay, so initially let's say we reached this position that I was here and j reached here. Okay, in this case what happened was, the value of a was increased by 1. Okay, sorry, not s dot char at I, it will be ARR of s dot char at j if its value become greater than 1, right? As we discussed, that we have an array in which at the 97 value, 98 value, 99 value, and 100 value, let's say. So j will start from here. Okay, it will increase the value by 1 at the 97th position. It has increased, right? So now again we will move here. It will increase the value at 98. It will increase the value at 99. Now when we'll again reach a, now when we will again reach a here, what will happen is, it will increase the value at 97 again. It will be 2 again. Okay, so this is what I am writing. Whenever the value becomes 2 of any character, what will happen is, we have to increase our I. So this is that loop. This is that loop in which, if the value of character at j, like a, right now a has become greater than 1, till it is greater than 1, we have to keep moving our I. We have to move our I. First of all, we have to decrease the count. So what we will do is, array of s dot char at I minus minus. First of all, we will decrease the value and then we will increase our I. So what I am doing here is, when I am at this position, what I will do is, first of all, whatever is at the ith position, I will go to that character here. and I will decrease the value by 1. Okay, I will decrease the value by 1, and then I will increase my I. Then I will increase my I. Now I will point at B. This is what I am doing. Okay, I hope this much is clear. So first of all, I am increasing the value. If value becomes greater than 1, I will keep decreasing the value until it becomes again 1. Okay, now I will move forward, and what will happen now? Now I have to increase J as well. Every time if this part is done, when this part is done, let's say now we are here, I is at B and J is at A. So now we have to increase my J. I can increase my J now, so that's why I'm increasing J here. Okay, but the question is we have to find the longest substring. So for that we have to take two things. Int count is equal to 0, right, and int max is equal to 0. So why? Let me tell you, and let me just write it in the code first of all. So first of all, every time we have to increase the count, right, and here we have to take max is equal to math dot max of max and count, right. So what I'm doing, let me explain this. Okay, so we have I, we have J. Why I am taking count and max? I think the process is clear to you guys, but why I am taking count and max, let me explain that. See, so again, taking that example, A B C A, B C B B. Okay, now let's say we were at the condition, we started from here, I was here and J was also here. So the count was increased by 1, count became 1, right? I was here, J was here. We are counting the character between I and J. That substring that we are counting. Okay. Right now, I and J are pointing to 0th index, so the count is 1. Now again, J move forward. Again, this loop will run and count will be increased. Now count will be increased to 2, right? Count will be increased to 2. And what is max doing? Max is 0 initially. So what will happen is every time, whenever the count is increased, so what will happen is we will take the maximum of max value and count. So what I am doing is value can vary, but maximum will only store the maximum substring till now. Maximum substring till now. So what will happen is right now count is 2. Okay. So again, this loop will run, count will be increased, the value is not greater than 1. So J will be increased. Now J will come here, and also we will take the maximum of count and max. So maximum of count and max is 2 only. 0 and 2, maximum of 0 and 2 is 2 only. Again the loop will run. What will happen? Again we will increase J. J will come at the second position, right? Count will be increased to 3, right? So when count will be increased to 3, we are also taking the array, right? In that array we have one value, one value, one value. At a 97 position, 98 position, 99 position, there is only one value. So this loop is not running. Why? Because at C we have only value 1. This loop will only run when the value will increase to 2, right? So now J plus plus, again J plus plus, that means J will point here, and we will take the maximum of count and the max value. Max value is 2 and count is 3, so maximum will be 3, right? Now again we will move forward. Now in this case what will happen is the value of count will be increased to 4. Why? Because s.char@j is a, so it will become 2. Okay, so now we will go inside the loop. Now we will go inside the loop until the value will become greater than 1, until the value becomes 1 again here. So what will happen is we have to keep decreasing the value at character at I. Wherever the I is, we have to keep decreasing the value. So I is at I a, so we will decrease the value by 1. It will become 1. Okay, and simultaneously one more thing we have to do here is we have to decrease the value of count as well. Okay, count will be decreased as well. Why? Because the length of the string is decreasing. Count is just representing the length of the substring between I and J. Okay, so every time whenever we move I forward, we have to decrease the count as well. We have to decrease the count as well. So count will be decreased, so count will become 3 again. Okay, now when we will come out, we will increase the J. Okay, but we will take the maximum of max and count. Maximum of max and count is 3 only, so it will remain 3, and so on. You can try it by yourself, and it will work. Okay, and it will work, right? So this is the code that we have, and at last what we have to do is we have to simply return max. We have to simply return max, right? So this is how we are doing it. Let me just run this as well, and the time is also almost over. So let me just run this, and I will tell you guys if there is any error. There's error like, okay, so I haven't put this here, so let me run it again. Return max. So what does they want? What do they want? Illegal start of statement. Okay, I'm returning max outside the function. Just a second. It's right. So yes. So anything else should be greater than one. Until then, it is greater than one. Then it will be decreased. I plus plus count less than one, and this will be decreased. Yes. Judging, and this is correct, right? The answer is correct. Now let's try to submit it. If you have any problem, see, it is successful, right? You can see on the left side that this is successful. We ran the code successfully. Okay, so this is how it works. So you guys can you have the video, right? So you can see if what how the code works, how it is working. You can dry run it by yourself. Always dry run everything, whatever you are writing, to get the mistakes. Okay, so do that, and I hope you guys got the lecture, like how the string works in Java, and also this question. A lot of things were there in the question to learn, right? Anybody has any doubt? And guys, how did you like the lecture, and any reviews? I hope you guys liked it. Okay. Anybody has any doubt for the last 5 minutes? You can ask. Hmm, okay, got it. Right. So thank you guys for joining in. I'm giving you 2 more minutes. If you guys have any question related to anything, you guys can ask. Then we can leave.
Thank you so much, sir, for not only sparing your individual time, but also enlightening us with your knowledge and experience. I would again thank Geeks for Geeks and Coding Minutes to be our title sponsors and education partners. Once again, thank you, Rahul Singla, sir. We are grateful for your presence.
Thank
Now,
you so
there is a quiz for you guys whose link will be in description box. The link will be valid for 30 minutes only. Quiz winners will get amazing prizes. So hurry up and all the best.
So you think you know data structures well, but often get stuck when it comes to problem solving. Well, now you are at the right place. Welcome to Data Structures and Algorithms Level Up course. Hi, my name is Prateek and I'm a software engineer at Google. I have created this course for anyone who wants to learn how to apply data structures for solving coding problems and algorithmic optimization. In the past 5 years, I have taught over thousands of developers through my online and in person bootcamps that helped many students and working professionals in their careers immensely. This course will help you to develop a strong problem solving mindset and write cleaner and highly optimized code. This course is a highly practical course and we will discuss over 100 problems of varying difficulty levels along with a complete hands on implementation. You will learn various tips and tricks related to concepts like recursion, backtracking, sliding window, two pointer problems, dynamic programming, pattern matching, graph algorithms, and more. Not just that, you will also learn by solving problems involving various data structures such as stacks, queues, linked lists, heaps, hash tables, tries, and graphs. With over 200 plus high quality video lectures, concise and simplified explanations for complex topics, This course is your one-stop destination to master problem solving. Unlike most other courses, this course is fully interactive. You also get coding exercises and multiple choice questions to test your skills. The code judge ensures that your logic is correct and you get a real time feedback on your code submission. Doesn't matter whether you have a computer science background or not. This course is for anyone who wants to ace problem solving and achieve big. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and I'm looking forward to meet you in the course.